So previously we have discussed the cross-site scripting. Today we will see some more concepts of the cross-site scripting. This cross-site scripting is of three categories. One is reflected XSS, stored XSS, and document object model based XSS. Reflected XSS means when you whatever the malicious code you want to write, that you can write on the search bars or text or in any places, so that it will reveal some sensitive information. That is what we call reflected XSS means. For example, if you consider SJR, that will take any of the here. This is the website especially for searching the journals, etc. If I say network, it will search some journals, and here this is the question mark. Okay, Q is equal to something. Here can I place some script like this? Script is equal to alert of document.cookie and closing of the script. So this is the code I want to enter here. So whenever I enter this code and enter, so it is not resulting anything. That means what it is doing is it is eliminating the less than greater than symbols. It is eliminating the opening and closing brackets, semicolon, etc. So here script alert document cookie script, whatever is there, whatever I have written, so it has sanitized the input. Okay? Less than symbol, greater than symbol, it removed, and only the keywords which are there, that they have taken here. That means this website is somewhat cautious about the malicious script that will be entered by the attackers. So that is what we have seen as a countermeasure to the cross-site scripting. Filter the input on arrival at the point where end user is received. Filter as strictly as possible based upon what is expected or valid input. Next one is encode data on output at the point where uncontrollable data is output in HTTP. It means whenever I have given the input like this, script alert, and if I have given the input like this, or the same text, what I will do is I will copy and paste in search bar and enter. Now you can observe here some encoding has been used here. Okay, less than greater than symbol, alert, and whenever dot is there, the dot is changed to percentile 28, that is bracket open, and bracket close is changed to percentile 29, and semicolon is changed to some encoding one, that is percentile 3b, and here backslash was changed to percentile 2f something. So that means some encoding has been used during the output. So that means it is has resistance to the XSS based attacks. So it has the protection like encode data on output. So whenever I have entered the search string in the search bar, so what it is doing actually, when it is reflecting onto the URL bar with some encoding, it was outputted. So that means these are the techniques with which the prevention of the XSS can be made. So we have seen in live that we have tried to enter some malicious code like document.cookie information want to be revealed, but it is intelligently detecting that some malicious code is entered, and it is removed. First, what it has done is it sanitized the input, and it has changed the code. Okay, and these kind of things have been done. And finally, if these three things are not happened, that is, so here also use appropriate response headers. So that means where we can see this response headers is we can move on to the Scalera next. So whatever we want to open, that will go for opening of this web goat. In that, the response headers will be recorded if you go for a burp suit. So we have gone to the login of the webgoat. Now, whenever we logged in, you can go to this proxy and HTTP history. Whenever you go to HTTP history after login successful, you will be finding the headers like this. The headers will be like this. The header information will be like this here. If you look at X XSS protection is 1, that means it is enabled, and mode is equal to block. So XSS protection is enabled for this particular web application, and Xframe option denied. So X content type no sniffer. So this kind of response have been received. That means it is in the headers itself. So use appropriate response headers and make sure that this X content type option and content types, all these things will be set. If not these three, above all these three, it is always encouraged to set up the content security policy, which is especially a security standard in the computer security, especially to avoid this XSS attacks kind of thing. So this is what the preventive steps that we have seen. Let us see an example that where I have written a program, simple HTML file, in which you can see a simple script has been written, script alert of document.cookie. So this has to give the cookie information whenever it runs in the Firefox browser. So look at here, this is giving you an alert box, but there is no cookie information. That means I have not logged into any of the current sessions, but here the session is with respect to this particular web page, web code page. So that is the reason what I will do is let will go for opening of this, and that means I am opening the same page in the next tab. So here in the cross-site scripting, lessons and some exercises has been given. So here, if you go to this second page, a quick example for XSS attack is JavaScript alert of XSS test, JavaScript alert of document.cookie. That means you can type this in the browser and you can see whether this content is going to be reflected or not. It is not taking here. So JavaScript alert of document.cookie. No, it is not giving any response. Actually, if the JavaScript is enabled and has been given any response, it will be looking like just a alert box, whatever we have found here. So for this, what we can do is we can say about info. We are getting this about config. So obviously we can go to the about config and here warn me when I am attempting to cross the preferences. Sometimes it is very dangerous to go into the configurations. So accept the risk and continue. And here you say JavaScript dot enable. So here JavaScript dot enabled is true. So since it is enabled, so our thing has to work here, but it is not working. That means with this we are not able to get this what you call reflected cross-site scripting. Whenever we type this malicious code in the URL bar, obviously you will get a alert box which is showing the document.cookie. So since it is not working, so we'll try another thing called stored XSS, where this malicious script we are making to save in the database. So in order to do that, we'll go for an experiment here. We already know that the that will go for running of the same page in the other tab, so that it will be more clear to us. Let me go to the request forgeries. In the cross-site request forgeries, we have seen posting something on behalf of some others. So here post a review on behalf of someone else. What I will do is here somebody has posted regard some values here. What I will do is I will place some another value like here. What I will do is I will try to include uh, script. So script alert of document.cookie script. So this I am including in this, and I am giving 5-star rating here, and I am giving 5-star rating. Submit review. So it appears that your request is coming from the same host you are submitting to. Okay, no problem. So once we have submitted, so it has to be stored in the database. So, but it was not reflected here. To reflect it, we'll do a refresh. Whenever refresh has been done, so what happened? J session ID is equal to EE20 something was happened. That means this stored XSS attack, what I have made here is I'm forcing the malicious code to save in the database. Whenever it was open, if anybody opens it, or if anybody is going for checking up the review or post that I have made, so whenever they go for refresh, automatically the session ID will be leaked out. So this sensitive information is going to be leaked out because of this stored access. Okay. So whenever I click OK here, if you look at here, WebGoat 5 stars. So whatever I have made the review, that was there here. So, but what happened? Whatever the code I have written is not appearing here. The reason is it's a malicious code. It has to be executed. So that is the reason it was executed and the sensitive information like session cookie information, session key or ID information was leaked out. The task is over now. So now it is not showing any review over here. So if I go for refresh again, do it give any alert box now? That will go for checking up. Again it is showing because the malicious code is permanently saved in the database. It's already there in the database. That is the reason whenever you open that sensitive information is going to be leaked. That is what is called stored cross-site scripting. While coming to the DOM based XSS, this is the document object model based XSS. In the web technologies course, we have seen a single page application. The single page application consisting of only the routers. That means a router will be there, like about index or home, etc. This kind of routings have been mentioned. Whenever that same value has been mentioned on the URL bar, the corresponding page will be reflected onto the website, which is called routing. So obviously this kind of routing procedures will be done with the help of the document object based model. Now let us go to the cross-site scripting. In this cross-site scripting, so here identify potential for document object based cross-site scripting. Now if you observe the URL bar here, so here they identify the potential document object based model, document object model based cross-site scripting. We are supposed to understand the URL pattern that the WebGoat is using. Here the URL pattern is like this: webgoat/start.mbc/lesson/ cross-site-scripting.lesson/9. The document object based model document object model based XSS can usually be found by looking for the root configurations in the client side code. Here what is the root configuration here? /start.mbc/lesson. That is giving you the lesson related to the cross-site scripting, and 9 is the ninth page that we have moved on to. So that is what the ninth page that we have reflected. For this example, you will want to look at for some test code in the root handler. So here, what is the root handler here? Slash webboard slash is the root handler. In this root handler, you are supposed to look for this test. So your object is to find the root and exploit it. First, through what is the base root? As an example, look at the URL for this session. So what is the URL? You have to make note of this URL. It should look something like slash webgoat slash dot mbc slash hash lesson slash something like this. Cross-site scripting dot lesson. Just now we have discussed it. The base root is start.mbc hash lesson slash. This is the base root. Okay, this is the base root. And the cross-site scripting dot lesson slash 9. After that are the parameters that are processed by the JavaScript root handler. So in web technologies course, we have seen the root information. Whenever the corresponding name was mentioned, automatically it will be rooted and the corresponding page will be printed, will be shown onto the screen. So what is the root for the test code that stayed in the app during the production? To answer this question, you have to check the JavaScript code. So here, what is the root for the test code? Here, test code root should be there. So you need to identify from how you are going to enter the test. Okay. So for this, we need to observe the source code. So how to observe the source code? The source code, usually the reason is we need to observe the source code. The reason is where the vulnerability exists in the client side code rather than the server side code. So these leakages will be possible because of the error at the client side code. So client side code is nothing but the source code. So whenever you run the web page, automatically the HTML code will be known to you. For example, if you right click and say go for view selection source, so you will get the selection source here. Like that, you can go for page source. Okay, view the page source. Okay, like that. And also you can go to the properties here, in which you can go to the web developer and you can go for toggle tools. Under this toggle tools, you will be having inspector, console, network, etc. For cookies, we have gone to the storage and we have identified the cookies. If you can recall, when the session handling was there, so you look at this. This is the cookie information. For this code to be explored, we need to go for debugger. In the debugger, you will find here the main thread and the IP address :8000 / webgoat, and we need to go for the JavaScript /JavaScript. Okay, because we all know that the routing is from the JavaScript. So JavaScript. So goat application. You can go to the goat application and the controller, model, support, view. So we all know that the model, view, controller architecture, and whatever we are viewing on the web page is part of the view. So let will move to the view. Here, let will see what are the JavaScript files are available. Developer controls view, error notification view, goat router, okay, menu view, parameter view, okay, so user authentication view. Like that, these are the views available. And in the model, is there any model available with the name called test code, like that? Okay. Here also there is no code available, and here also in controller also there is nothing available, and in support nothing is available, and in libraries, do you find anything here? No. Here also you didn't find anything. And because this test code we can find in the routers. because any router related thing is available. Let me check here. In the view, we'll find here goat router. So already the goat router was opened here. So this goat router, if you look at here in the goat router, goat app slash controller slash lesson controller. These are the various routing paths that are available here, and any other routing paths available here. Here routes are there, right? This is the route. Welcome. So welcome will give you the welcome screen because here you look at here. Uh, so this is the welcome screen actually. This is the welcome screen under which you will be having lesson slash name means lesson route, lesson slash name, page number, lesson route, test. You look at here. This is the test route we have identified here, and it is asking for the test code. Okay, it asks for the test code, and here we have identified the test route. So test route, the parameter will be like this: test slash. So the code will be like this. We can say start.mbc because it is starting with the MVC. Start.mbc hash hash instead of lesson, because here lesson is there, instead of lesson we are supposed to place it as test. Okay, test slash. So test slash. So this is the test code where you will find the test route. So what is the route for test code that stayed in the application during the production? This is the test. Submit it and we'll see. Yeah, correct. So whatever you have entered is the correct. So this is the test path where you will find the test code. So correct. Now see if you can send the an exploit to the root in the next assignment. So that means we have identified the path that if you can exploit this path, because they have used this folder for testing purpose, but because after production and release, they have not removed this testing path. So this will help us to exploit the web pages that are available on this application. So this is the way how you can check the document object model based cross-site scripting vulnerabilities in the web code. In the same way, a reflector cross-site scripting was mentioned here. Here, a shopping cart has been given an example. In this, you have the quantity to be checked. The quantity will be like this. Usually, the quantity will be in terms of if you go to the view page source, the quantity, is there any name called quantity is there? You have to go for quantity. So it is not having any name called quantity. Text box will say input. So if you find any text box here, directly they have written some content over here. So usually the quantity, if you look at the quantity, it is number 1, 2, 3 like this. So it may be the integer values. Maybe the integer values, you can make it here and enter your digit access code. There is a possibility that it could be the code. The code may not be sometimes in the pure numbers. It may be the combination of the characters and numbers. And here the credit card number. Credit card number maybe is usually in terms of the numbers only. So what I will do is I will try to use the script, simple malicious script like script alert. This is XSS test and slash alert script. So this is a small piece of code that I want to use. What I will do is I will place here and check update cart. It's not giving you any information, and let me see, rename to 1. And here they have given, let try to use this payload script here. So that means that this quantity cannot be, we won't get any information about this quantity. And let will go for one and purchase. It is not giving you any information. And let will go for this one and update cart. Yeah, we got this. My script here, my JavaScript is here. That means this particular text box is vulnerable to the reflected cross-site script. Okay, this text box is vulnerable to reflected cross-site scripting. So well done, but alert, we are not very impressive, are they? Please continue. Thanks for shopping at Webgood and this kind of this is great. So that means here this particular text box is more vulnerable to the reflected accesses. So stored accesses, we have seen how we are going to place the vulnerable code in the post on behalf of some others. And document object based model reflect cross-site scripting also we have seen. That is, we are supposed to explore in which path that is the unused path which is used at the time of development, but during production they have not removed it, and we may use that particular path and we may enter into that. So we know that the path is like this: start .mvc hash lesson. So instead of lesson, what we'll do is hash test slash. Or will it give you any information related to that? No, it's not giving any information, but still it is important. Yeah, look at here, it is going for test. Okay, so even though it is not giving any page, still it is responding to this. If page is not there, obviously it has to present that okay, nothing is full or some that is page not found kind of thing. But still it is giving you some information like test : like this. So this is what the reflected cross-site scripting, stored cross-site scripting, and document object-based model cross-site scripting. So for more practice, we can go for this link, postbigger.net, web security cross-site scripting, and study the 3 categories of cross-site scripting, and can perform the same tasks which was given in this website according to the instructions provided in that challenge. So this is related to the cross-site scripting. We'll see some more attacks on the web application in the next lecture.